Halloween is still in the air. I press start to draw. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw one of the Exo Zombies from the Exo Zombies game mode of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So for today's spooky drawing tutorial, all you really need is a pencil sharpener, and of course to go with it, a handy dandy pencil and a handy dandy eraser. Let's get started. Now we're going to make our zombie where he's like crawling at us. So make a circle for the pants. This is going to be the bottom section of our zombie, and he's a type of zombie that's called a crawler, and crawlers in the game mode basically just crawl at you, and they can actually jump at you with the exosuit they have on them, and that's what we're also going to draw on this guy here. Now what I'm making right now, I'm working on the torso, and also there's actually a lot of muscle placement. He's a shirtless zombie, so there's a lot of muscle placement, and we're making like decayed muscles as well, so you want to, capture that decayed feel of a zombie. And what I do for when I'm making arms for a sketch, I always make circles for indications of knees, knee joints, elbow joints, and all that, shoulder joints as well. And also for little joints in the fingers. And for this guy's fingers, they're very angled and sharp. They're really, bony as well and brittle. Now as you can see, there's like smooth muscle placement here and there, but once we get in further adding in the details, you can see that we are going to make this guy really decayed and like disease, like he's been infected infected by a virus, like a proper zombie should. Now his arm that's going to be latching out, trying to get you, we're going to go ahead and make that like a little, like he's like grabbing something. And how you can do that is just make the fingers angled and like it's in a form of a claw. And if you're wondering what I'm drawing here, this is like the it's like the little collar for the exosuit that's attached to the exosuit. And that's what we're making right there. It's like a metal type of collar. And now, since we made our arms and pretty much the whole foundation of the body, we're going to go ahead and make the exosuit, which will be going around him. Now, the exosuits, if you've never played Advanced Warfare, exosuits are basically like this exoskeleton type of techno suit that latches on you, and it has these like little chains that will attach to your arms and also to your legs. But for this guy, since he's a crawler, his legs are like, he doesn't have any legs, they've been blown off or something like that, So, yeah, and you'll notice that, like a gun, the exosuits contain square-like and roundish little shapes here and there. So the exosuit's pretty simple. They're just thin ligaments and segments of just rectangular, long rectangular forms. And of course the circles are just like ball joints. Now when you're making the exosuit with the ball joints and all that, you want to make sure that they are, in good position with the actual elbows and the shoulders with the zombie. Now what I'm doing right here, I kind of messed up previously. Right now on the arm, you want to extend. Don't make it like that type of length. If you have, sorry, but I mean if you want to keep it that way, sure. But I actually extended it further in the video. Now, of course, for the head, just make a longish, elongated, oval type shape, and of course this is going to be our head. Now what I'm doing there is making another little piece of the collar. Now the opening of the collar is kind of weird looking. That's like this tinfoil type of texture to it, which you'll see in a minute. And right here, I'm making like a cross shape of all over his face right there. And I'm making his eyes, and this forming his nose, so you get a better understanding. And of course, this is going to look like a goofy type of face. But don't worry, as soon as we add in detail, we're just adding the simple parts, once we go into it, we'll see, once you get into actually putting in more detail, you're like, okay, I'm going to work on the eyes and the nose, and it's just going to be more easier on you. And me as well. So right there, I'm touching up on the sketch. So for a sketch, this is, a lot to put in for a sketch. And as you can see, like I said previously, I was going to extend the arm, like I'm doing right now. And of course, when you extend the arm, you also want to extend the pieces of the exosuit. And you can also see those little chain things I was talking about earlier that are like, you know, chained to your wrists and to your elbows and all that. The exosuits are really cool, actually. A cool concept. And now, erase any sketch lines that are intercepting any body parts or anything like that. Of course, we're not going into a sketch anymore. And shaping the torso. And also, since this is a zombie, turn your nice smooth lines, get rid of those, and make like really wrinkly lines so that it'll be like portraying a decayed body. It's kind of messed up saying that, but hey, we are drawing a zombie after all. Now, there's really not too much detail in the pants, just, you know, but going down, you know, down to the southern regions, there are like a lot of wrinkles right there. Which just, you know, going down there, just make, you know, just a patch of wrinkles. We don't have to really do too much down there since, you know, of course, like I said, his legs have been blown off. Now, this is where we're going to add in more muscle placement. Not really muscle placement, but more detailing in his torso. Now, this is where the real decayed details go into place. Now, of course, it's your drawing, so make your zombies, you know, look as decayed as possible. Or if you just want to follow the format I'm going with, just, you know, which the format is just staying accurate to the image that I got from the search engine Google, then you can also do that as well. Yeah, don't forget to make his little belly button, and as you can see, I'm working up to the breast placement, and then I'm adding more detailing to the collar, to the exoskeleton collar, and right there I'm adding his breast right there, which you want to connect to the collar. The collar pretty much covers the whole breast placement right there, or the chest, if you will. So make sure your torso is like bending, you know, like bending upwards. Right there, I'm working on the fingers. Yeah, the fingers are pretty simple. Now, of course, this isn't really like an actual ultra-realistic, you know, drawing, because it's not really from an actually ultra-realistic or realistic. I don't know if you would, you know, use ultra for, but, you know, it's not really like a realistic image that I'm getting this from. So it's kind of like, you know, kind of like I wouldn't say cartoonish, but you can tell it's, you know, it's from a video game. And not from like an actual, you know, movie where, of course, there's going to be a lot more detailing in it. And of course, as you go along, you go ahead and erase those pesky little well, not really pesky, but those little circles, joints for the arms and the legs that you made earlier, if you did, that is. Which I recommend. It actually makes the legs and the arms much easier and efficient. It makes the whole pacing of the, you know, drawing the arms and other, you know, key elements of the body very faster and much more faster and efficient than just, you know, placing the wrong muscle or tendon here and there and having to erase over and over and over again. So make sure that your sketches you keep to a simple basis, but also make sure that they'll help you in the long run when you're adding in, you know, key elements and detailing. Of course, now I'm adding more wrinkles and detailing, and also muscle placement in the arms, which are pretty much roundish, like detailing. And also, another thing I would like to mention, in the body, there's like stained, like blood, like a popped vein, but it's like a stained pale, like a stained pale blood. So if you see like weird, like dark lines, like on his shoulder, or like on his right shoulder, right there, that's like stained like blood from a popped vessel, or like diseased skin, if you will. since this is a zombie, you know, it's going to be the disease guy, because, you know, modern zombies nowadays are not like those classic zombies that would pop up from the grave, you know, to feast on your brains. These are just zombies that have been infected with the virus, just like other modern zombies today in the 2000s era. And also go ahead and work on your left arm, and also go ahead, what I would do is work on little chains. So if you are, you know, coming across any arms that have like a piece of the exosuit, just go ahead and touch up on that. What I like to do is do basically the whole body first, and then, like, you know, do the exosuit. But the exosuit is pretty simple. There's really not much going on with the exosuit. But of course, since, you know, the title of the video is called How to Draw an Exo Zombie, of course, it has to have its exosuit. Because the man died with his exosuit on. Now, of course, this is where you want to add in more 3D elements to the actual drawing, and also detailing. Well, this is where you want to add in more 3D elements to the exoskeleton. Sorry. And also, I noticed that there's like little tubes and like little wiring here and there that connects to each little segment. So it pretty much forms a basic, like, skeleton, but you can't really see there because, you know, most of his body is covering the whole, like, main structure of the exosuit, since this is a frontal shot. So yeah, the exosuit is pretty simple. Didn't really have a problem with that. Honestly, I don't think you'll have a problem with any of this drawing. But if you do, hey, you know what? We're all human. We all have to start out, and don't worry, you can make it. You'll do good. Everyone does a good job. Now we kind of, like, you know, just left the collar right there all plain, which we'll get to in a little bit. Since, you know, the collar is actually one of the big pieces that connects to the exosuit itself. Since it's like this collar that actually, you know, has you connect to it's basically like a collar that just, you know, goes over your head, covers your chest area, and just a good foundation to secure your exosuit. I don't know why I'm trying to sound like a professional about, oh, I made, you know, exosuits in my day, so, yeah, I know what I'm talking about here. No. I'm just trying to make it, I'm just trying to, you know, make it sound like, I'm just trying to, you know, sound like it, what I'm saying here is, you know, making sense, even though it's kind of not. Now, what I said earlier, like this open little space of the collar that's pretty much covering the whole basis of the collar, of the exosuit collar, it's just like this tinfoil-like covering, which is very interesting. Now, I don't know, I'm not saying that it's actually tinfoil, but it just looks like this aluminum type material or something. I know it's not tinfoil, but when I first looked at it, it reminded me of like a foil-like material. Or like maybe a heat-resistant material. I don't know, but this looks like a soft, like, you know, padding or something on the basis on the, like, you know, the opening of the collar. And just make like little really dark wrinkles right here. Now, after you make all the wrinkles that you want, go ahead and make pretty much like a grid going around, except for that little upper collar that's connected to the chin. Don't make a grid on that, but make a nice long grid, which you'll see me do in a little bit, going up and down, and that's basically just the little soft material right there for the opening of the collar. Alright guys, we're almost to the actual face of the zombie, so it's not going to be that awkward looking gaping mouth right there. It's going to be an actual, you know, a zombie with still a gaping mouth, but it'll look like more of a badass guy, or a creature, if you will. So guys, do you have Call of the Advanced Warfare, and did you play the zombies mode? You know, how do you like it? Or is it frustrating? It's actually very frustrating for me and a lot of my friends because, you know, now the zombies, since they have exosuits, they can jump at you. And even these little crawlers, I would like to add that, I think I added previously, but I'll say anyways, that these zombies have exosuits, which, well, the crawlers, you know, of course, they still have their exosuits and can jump at you when they're, like, crawling towards you, which I thought was pretty crazy. Now we're going on to the head, which, of course, shaping your head, and this is where, as we're progressing up to the forehead, we're going to erase that little cross line that we made earlier. Now, of course, you want to make some, like, blood-stained lines, you know, like little lines that indicate blood around his chin, you know, like he just ate someone. Of course, that's what you want to do for all zombies, you know, have blood around their mouth. I mean, you can't really, you know, make a zombie without having some, you know, gore. Right there, we're shaping that big gaping little circle we made earlier for the sketch. This is where we're going to go ahead and add in more wrinkly facial features. And also, when I was going into the shading, I also just made like light lines that was going across the torso, just to add in a more decayed look to it. And also around his mouth, you want to make wrinkles, just like pretty much make it like an older, like a really old, decayed guy, but he's actually a zombie. That's what, you know, for zombies, they're really decayed and all wrinkly and gross. That's why zombies are freaking cool, dude. Of course, you want to go ahead and work on your nose, and this is where we're working on the eyes, which actually, what's really unique about, and different about Call of Duty zombies, like World at War and Black Ops and, of course, Advanced Warfare, is that the eyes, they don't really have any pupils. They're just like glowing lights. And yeah, I mean, I think it's cool, you know, it's something, you know, you don't really see on every zombies, you know. You either see like a blind type of eye, or you know, you don't, or you just see like pupils, but no, this is just like red. But of course, this is a black and white drawing I'm making here, which you could color if you want to, but me, I like to keep it nice and simple with the black and white. And of course, add the little eyebrow, well, not really eyebrows, but the little facial placements, like the the upper facial placements, like the forehead, and also on that left side, I went ahead and made like a chunk of a head it's missing, or like a really big scar right there. Hell, go ahead and, like, you know, make a patch of the head that's like showing the brain. That would be really cool. And also add any more features, like more wrinkly textures and all that. So yeah, guys, that's our zombie, and you know, further on, I'm going to be going ahead and shading it, which is very simple. And also, I darkened in, since I'm going with a black and white drawing, I darkened in the little patch of blood right there on his head, defining my wrinkles, adding more depth to my eyes as well. So guys, that's pretty much it. For the rest of this video, I'm just going to be shading and all of that, and I actually did add a shadow over or under my zombie as well. So guys, was this helpful? I hope it was. And you know, if you did, let me know in the comments section below. So, do you hate the recent Exo Zombies, or do you love it? Is it your favorite, and do you think it's better than the original Zombies? For me, nah, it's not cutting it. I still love the original Zombies for World at War and Black Ops, so yeah. Well guys, that's it. Subscribe if you want, like, favorite, and share, and all that good shizbiz, and I will see you later, and also have a happy Halloween next Saturday. See ya.